We'll start with the story where operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have successfully apprehended the drug kingpin Kanmo-Kanmo, also known as Kanmo-Kanmo, who has long been on the wanted list, ending a 12-year manhunt following his involvement in the brutal killing of 3 NDLEA officers. Now, he is notorious for drug trafficking, invading arrests, and mobilizing armed thugs against security agents. He was tracked on Friday, 16 January, to his hideout in Owode Town, Ogun State, by tactical teams of the agency following credible intelligence. Now, in a statement by the agency's director and media advocacy, Femi Babafemi, the suspect was found in possession of 69 kilograms of skunk, a strain of cannabis, during the clinical operation. Now, the arrest marks a significant breakthrough in the agency's commitment to ensuring that no fugitive, regardless of how long they evade justice, remains beyond or above the law. The agency also recovered illicit drugs from female online vendor, also in Jigawa, Lagos, Ogun, Edo, Delta, Oyo, FCT, amongst others. So I'll say this is a good way to start our Monday, if I will say. 12 years there's been a manhunt on this particular Kanmo-Kanmo man, and he's finally been brought to book. It just tells us that you can never deny justice. For me, that's what it says. Justice may be slow, but at the end of the day, he will be caught. And just knowing that 3 NDLEA officers, he murdered 3 NDLEA officers. Look at the amount of skunk they saw him with, the amount of illegal drugs they saw him with. I think the NDLEA has been doing a fantastic job, Mr. Shomi.
Honestly speaking, I mean, you have to give it to NDLEA, no matter what anybody thinks about them, under the present leadership. I mean, they've been doing a fantastic job. And I'm not surprised the president decided to retain Marwa as a leader. Yeah. And when you look at this very arrest of Jimo, a.k.a. Kanmo-Kanmo, Kanmo-Kanmo, you realize that he's been running away from the law for a long time, and now the law has finally caught up with him. Like you correctly said, you can only run, you can hide, but eventually the arms of the law will catch up with you, and it's going to get processed through the criminal justice system. I mean, my heart still goes to the family of the families of the 3 slain NDLEA the operatives. So one can only hope that eventually he will have to pay the price for his crime.
Of course, pay the price. Olamide, oftentimes on this table we've spoken about the implications of taking drugs. We've also spoken about the fact that our youths in Lagos, most of them, are now drawn to drugs. Now, if there's nobody supplying these drugs, where are they getting the drugs from? 12 years now, this man has been doing this business, not just also doing drugs. He's a criminal, also murdering people.
That's right.
I'm happy that he's been brought to book, but Olamide, there are also many other people out there like this. We cannot be waiting for 12 years before we catch them.
Absolutely. This is a very commendable feat by the NDLEA. We've seen that the chairman of the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Alhaji Buba Marwa, he handles these drug matters in a way that seems almost very intimate to him. He understands how these networks work. I will say that what we're seeing from this particular story with Kanmo-Kanmo, we saw females involved, we saw operations across several states, Jigawa, Edo, FCT, Delta. We're seeing that drug pins and drug networks are now becoming decentralized. They're operating in several states. They are becoming tech-enabled. These people are dealing online, on social media, on TikTok, on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Facebook Marketplace.
That's right.
And we are seeing that they are now gender diverse. They are using women, young girls, children, older women,
even children.
To evade the law. And so what that tells us is that the traditional kingpins and the traditional drug networks are now metamorphing into something that we can't really keep up with. And so I'm hoping that the NDLEA has proper intelligence frameworks in place to match up with this new crop of drug kingpins. It's great to see that this arrest has been made, and I hope that they squeeze him for all the intelligence that he has, because there's a whole network
other people
underneath this man.
Yeah, of course.
Work by the NDLEA.
There is a network, Ibrahim. Of course, he couldn't have been working on his own. He will have friends. If you are a killer, you will have killer friends. If you are a banker, you will have banker friends. So I'm sure there are so many people that he can lead us to. And I'm happy that we also hear that intelligence played a great role. We've been saying this thing. We cannot catch people if we do not have proper intelligence.
Absolutely. So kudos to the NDLEA. Every Sunday, I always say they always give us a dose of exactly what they've done, how many people they've arrested, and in connection with, in collaboration with other agencies. Imagine pursuing someone for 12 years and you're not able to get the person. That person must be a hydra-headed criminal to the extent that he killed 3 notable NDLEA officers. He must have killed a whole lot of people, because there's no way you do drugs that you wouldn't be involved in other criminal acts. That kind of a person, he has been arrested. So we need to also get the network, those people in that network, the cartel, those who are buying from whom he's also buying, and who also consume these drugs and all that. Because if there is no market, people will not be involved in this, and we know how huge, how I don't want to use the word lucrative, but you know how crazy it is, the kind of money they make from this. Some politicians certainly will also be patronizing these people, especially when it comes to electioneering. They also use them, you know, to scuttle elections, to destroy, you know, so many other places. But kudos to the NDLEA, kudos to the Nigerian Immigration Service for also ensuring that, you know, they work in collaboration with the NDLEA and other agencies. And whatever it is that we need to do to ensure that we reduce the importation of drugs, because we know Mexico, through the you know, Latin American area, and you know, mention all of those countries, they also use Nigeria as one of the traffic points. So it's kudos to the NDLEA. They've been doing so well, and I say they've done so well.
A very big congratulations to them, honestly speaking. But for me, I just want to say that they are doing a whole lot, but Ibrahim, more has to be done. We talk about, you know, drug business being very lucrative, but for me, I wonder, Mr. Biodun, you are making money from destroying people's lives. That's the way I see it, because if you know somebody that takes drugs and you see how the person has turned, you know, after a period of time, you now you'll be very hurt and emotional about it. And that's why when I talk about drugs, you know, it really hurts me, because I've seen people that have taken drugs and did not get themselves again.
That's right.
So when we see people doing this kind of business and you tell me that it's lucrative, I'm wondering, how much money do you want to get up to yourself that you're destroying the lives of people? And at the end of the day, you're not living this life with anything like that. You're not living with your cars. You're not living with anything you have. So what are you really doing? Where is our conscience?
Oh, look, I mean, these are people without conscience, no doubt about it. There's no way anybody, you look at young, you know, school children, and you want to peddle drugs to them. And not only that, you also use them as courier, you know, to distribute drugs within the country. There are also innocent victims, you know, people who are travelers who ended up becoming being arrested as moles or as courier, who in any case are just thought they are simply trying to assist a fellow citizen. So, you know, it's a very brutal operation, and the people operating it are mindless. When it comes to drugs, I mean, forget it. It's something we need to be very tough on, and we need to prevent the drugs from coming into our country. Otherwise, we'll end up going through Donald Trump's way, trying to stop other countries from bringing in. No, it's our responsibility to stop them from getting onto our shores.
I agree with you, Mr. Biodun. We can go on and on about this, but our time will not permit us. But all I'll say is that NDLEA, well done for what you're doing, but we expect more. We want to see more. We want to see more of this drug, you know, cartels. We want to see more of their bosses being caught, and just making sure that we do not have a lot of drugs in the system in Nigeria. So well done to you. Well, we'll take a breather now, and when we come back, there is a lot during the newspaper review, so make sure you don't go anywhere.